Okay, so I know that I normally cover tap handles, and sometimes I'll cover the toppers as well. And so if I'm covering a topper, I'll normally be covering the tap as well. This one is a little bit of an exception because I currently don't have the base of this tap in my in my collection. So unfortunately, just covering the topper. And normally I wouldn't do that, but I did want to show you a couple of things about this. And first of all, for the actual tap or the brewery, apparently this is the Chronic Ale Topper for Pizza Port Brewing. I don't know too much about them. At some point, I'll probably end up picking up one of their tap handles so I can show it to everybody. But I did want to cover a little bit about this topper. First of all, it's just a interesting topper. This is for chronic ale. I'm assuming that it's chronic ale, but maybe it's chronic ale. Like who knows? Well, presumably they do. And so this is chronic ale, amber ale is the topper. And so it's this dude wearing the sunglasses with this fancy mustache, and then it's got these little kind of handlebars here. So it kind of looks like a bike bar here with little handlebars on the side. And this, you'll notice, oh, actually, it looks like tires there too. That's actually a lot of really cool little touches. And you'll notice this threading is similar to some of the other toppers that you would have seen. So it's similar to the toppers that you would have seen for the Three Floyds tap handles. I did a couple of features on those. One of the things I did want to show with this particular topper is this one ended up getting damaged. And because of that, it's a great example in order to get an idea of what that looks like. And you'll notice here that you've got this little bit of wire, you've got this, which is where it was going into. And so that is one of the handlebars. And what they'll do is they'll have a reinforced wire frame for some of the elements that are coming out like that. And that goes underneath the resin. But what will happen in some cases if you apply a little bit too much pressure to that poly resin that they have there, then it'll actually become damaged. So there are a couple of different styles of ways that tap handles are produced. Some of them, it'll be a lucite, which is fairly resilient, fairly durable. Other ones, it'll be a ceramic. Other ones, it'll be a resin. And depending upon the type of resin that they use, some of them will be a little bit more fragile. So it is worth noting that. And if you are looking at tap handles that are produced in this way, you want to keep an eye out for that. And you'll notice on this other side, this is actually a beautiful example because this one still has this portion of the resin there, but you'll notice that it started to bend, it started to become damaged. And if you are picking up any tap handles like this or any toppers like this, there's a couple of things to note. So, first of all, if you're seeing something like this with the threading like this, you want to check and see it might just be the topper and not a tap handle. If somebody is selling it and they're not familiar with tap handles, they may have it listed as a tap handle when it's really just a topper. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out. And then the second thing is if you do have something like this, you want to check out for any resin like that and any damage like that. If you do see that, I've seen it with the Game of Thrones tap handles from Omegang and some other tap handles as well, where it's very easy for those to become damaged. And once you do have damage like that, then essentially it's a damaged tap handle as opposed to a normal tap handle. If somebody is selling it as a normal tap handle, you definitely want to keep an eye out for that. But hopefully that's useful and hopefully that's a good example. Like it's great being able to see that in the damaged state as well as seeing it where it's about to be like that. And you kind of can repair these, so you could use some epoxy or a little bit of super glue and kind of shape that back, put that back into position. But Personally, that's not very much my preference. I like to have them fairly original and fairly repaired. Sometimes you'll see them where they're bent a little bit, but they're not cracking, in which case it's a little bit of wear and tear, but they should still be fine.